Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is all about just a really great concept for each and every one of us to get our heads around, particularly when we can find ourselves playing the victim in our lives. This is a really powerful one, and it is only for the people who are looking for real self-realization. You know, they're not looking to play small, they're not looking to play safe, they're not looking to, stay comfortable. They actually want the challenge to get to the next level of their limitless potential. And so I want to hit you guys with it. And it's the fact that no one outside of yourself can hurt you. Nobody can hurt you. And why this is really empowering is because when we can recognize that the only thing that actually hurts us is the story that we've created and that we believe about somebody else, that is what hurts us. Nobody else has that power. Nobody can say or do anything that is really going to hurt you. And I'm talking about this on, so many of us have this emotional hurt, this baggage, this victimization, this victim mentality that we hold on to in our lives, and it keeps us so small and so limited, and we don't even know that we're holding on to this stuff. And to me, that is that scares me the most, is not knowing, being just totally oblivious to the victim mentality that we are a part of. And so I am hoping that today's message that I want to talk into with you guys today is going to maybe shake a few of you guys up. It's going to get you to think about, hey, what hurt am I holding on to? Who am I sort of feeling like I shouldn't forgive them, and I'm hurting internally based on how somebody showed up or they're currently showing up. And ultimately, when we can understand that it is the story that we have created about the person or the situation that is the real culprit of our hurt, that is where we can actually feel a sense of empowerment. Because when we are thinking that somebody outside of us has that power, if only they didn't do this, if only they wouldn't do that. When we keep ourselves stuck on that and we try and change somebody else, or we try and change something in the external, we get stuck in this limited story and version of who we really are. We create this total state of disempowerment because we place all of the power into this external source on our happiness, and our happiness is reliant on this external source or person changing, for which we have no control over. And in fact, if we really take it a step back, when we can recognize that nothing has any meaning other than the meaning that we make up about it. All of the meaning that is creating the hurt and the pain resides in here, in your individual mind. And I know that it's, for so many of us, it's hard. It's a hard concept for us to want to acknowledge and accept. Because it's kind of safe to play the victim and safe to not have to take responsibility for our hurt and pain. But at the end of the day, if we don't take responsibility for how we're feeling, then we are going to create our own suffering. And, we have to recognize that we are the only person who creates our hurt. Nobody else does, and it's all happening in here. And if we know that all hurt resides in the mind, then we can recognize that we create our own suffering. And victims suffer. It's victors who rise above that, who take control of knowing that everything is stemming from the mind. If we don't feel good about a situation, if we feel pain, guilt, shame, any of it, nobody else is doing that to us. We are creating that meaning, that story, and that experience in our mind, and the way out is through questioning. The way out is not accepting every thought and story that enters our mind and existence. We need to recognize and use our emotional experience as the light shining on what's going on in here and not out there. Everything is in here. And I really think that when we can get our minds around this and understand this, we gain empowerment to move forward, to gain self-awareness and control over our emotional experience. And the fact is that we all have a choice. You know, if we change our mind, we can release our suffering. And so I am really hoping that today's message is resonating with you guys, and let me know, is this something that's kind of a bit out there? Are you working on this currently yourself? You know, I love what Byron Katie says, and I'm still going through her book, A Mind at Home with Itself. Brilliant, brilliant book. And she says that all suffering is optional. So we must question our mind. All suffering is born in thought and our belief in the thought. And so if we can question it, we can find, is there a different reality? Is there a different perspective here that I'm missing? That if I engage with that, that could end my suffering and create empowerment to move in the directions of what matters most to me, and stop playing it small and keeping myself limited and playing the victim, which keeps everybody limited. So I'm really hoping that it's resonating with you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, feedback. You guys know how much I love engaging with you guys, so make sure that you drop it below, and I'm going to jump in there and check out what you guys are up to. But if you haven't already, make sure that you come on over and join the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community, where we're all reaching that new level of our limitless potential. We're supporting, encouraging, and challenging each other to that next level to break through. So really hope that you click on the link and do that, and I'm going to check in with you guys. So I have got Stephen and Hassani is here. I love it. And Corey and Chris. I'm so happy that you're happy that I'm live. I love having you here. And Aaron's here. Awesome to see you. And Nino, I'm loving that you're finding this inspirational. And Michael's here. And Jeremy and Jason and Hector. Awesome to see all of you guys. And Abelberto. Awesome name. Never heard of it before. I hope I said it right. Awesome to have you here. And Diallo and Raman and Peter and Bassam and Alionia and Chris, except for fire. Oh, well, yeah, you know, that might hurt. Exactly. But you know what? If you read Byron Katie's book, she will challenge you even on that. So depends on how like out there you want to get, but she actually tells a story about getting her hand stuck in a blender. And I know that's a horrible image for us to dive into, but the fact is it's the image, you know, the image that we create in our mind creates the painful experience. And anyway, I won't go too much into depth with that story that she tells, but in the moment, because she recognized that all pain and suffering is in the mind, she was just in the moment. And I know this sounds really out there because it's not, you know, it's not part of our human reality, our experience in the everyday, and it's a really different way of thinking. But you know, that's why I love learning from her, because it just challenges all of our belief systems. And you know, she tells a story of her daughter being next to her, just horrified by the whole circumstance, and her with her cut up, sliced up fingers, just being present to the moment. And yeah, I know it sounds weird, but kind of finding the beauty in the moment. So I would even challenge the whole concept around fire. Well, at least Byron Katie would. I'm not quite at that level, but I love you being here, Chris. And Peter's here, and Lily and Mohammed, much love to you. And Aaron and Gabrielle and Michael and Rashid and Jeannie's here. I love it. And Chris, we hold on to a story we tell ourselves is real from a victim standpoint, and it can hinder us in every way. I let go of that outlook a year or so ago, and it has made the biggest impact on me. Huge. Awesome. I love hearing that, Chris. That is so, so cool. I think there is nothing more empowering than recognizing that we create our experience in every moment in the mind. And when we can recognize the pattern of these stories, these disempowering stories, we can relinquish our suffering, and we can actually get into an empowered place where we feel alive and energized and ready to move in the direction of that next level of our limitless potential. So I love that, Chris. That's so, so awesome to hear. And Lucy's here, and Tumas, and Ricardo, and Amber, and Abraham, and Ty, and hello to you, Rashid, and Omar. I'll have a look. I'm sorry, guys, if you guys have sent me friends requests. I I think I don't know if I can accept anymore. I think I've got like 1,000 there, and I'm so sorry I haven't gone through them. So if you really want me to see your friends request, maybe delete that friends request and try and re-add me, and I'll take a look out for you there, Omar. Otherwise, I don't know how I'll find you. But Daniel's here, and Amit and Aaron. I agree with you. Once a person understands this, it's very, very hard for people to understand this, the victim that is. Yes. Absolutely. This is really, it seems like it shouldn't be that difficult to get our minds around, but we have so much resistance because we so live in our self-protecting mechanisms that we are most of the time, we're like 99% of the time, we're actually oblivious to these subconscious patterns, right? They're in our subconscious. And when we can shine light and bring the subconscious into the conscious, that is where we start to feel empowered and we can make the shifts and change. But so many of us were attached to that victim mentality that we don't even want to hear a message like this. So I applaud you for being here and listening to this and challenging your mind. And oftentimes it's really easy for us to see how other people are playing the victim. But today's message, I'm here to empower you guys in any way possible. And if it takes a new perspective, I want you to challenge yourself to really think about it. Where in your life are you playing the victim? I guarantee there is somewhere in your life right now where you're doing it. So identify it, identify the story that you're creating, and do the work to question it so that you can relinquish the stories and move forward and end your suffering and move forward into a place of empowerment. And I love you being here, Aaron. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. And Omar, awesome. And Rim and George. Hi Vanessa, hello everyone. I'm still here in Florida. It's beautiful down here, sending good vibes to you and everyone in here. Awesome, George. I'm going to be in Florida in December for Date with Destiny, Tony Robbins' event. Hope some of you guys are going to be there and you catch up with me. Let me know if you're going to be there. I'd love to meet you. And Fazia's here, awesome, and Hassani. Yes, I still have work to do on this. I'm still working my way through Katie's audiobook, Loving What Is. Oh, I love that you're doing that. And so grateful for you introducing her work with us. Awesome, I absolutely love it. You know, Katie's work is... I just love anything that just totally rips apart like your belief system and challenges you and just, you know, gets you thinking in this totally different way, because that to me is open-mindedness, which I value so much. Because without an open mind, we can't actually grow, and we keep ourselves small and we keep others small as well. And we can't create depth of connection when we're in a judgmental mindset. So challenging our mindsets with the work of Byron Katie is just one phenomenal way of doing that, which I definitely love doing. And I so love that you're diving into her work, Hassani. You are awesome. And I want to hear from you about your experience with that. Absolutely. And Martine, nice of you to join us. And Amber, thank you. Can I watch a repeat of this as I joined late? Absolutely, Amber. All of these Facebook Lives, if you jump in late, the recording is always there. So it'll be there as soon as this live finishes. So I hope you catch the recording, get a ton of value, and let me know if you have any questions. And Toma's here. I love having you here. And Solwyn, Vanessa, what are you selling? I'm selling empowerment, and it's free, and I hope this message is valuable to you. And John and Max and Saddam, thanks for being here, guys. And Ramon, we need to keep our mind on guard, because our mind is so powerful that we start believing in our own, in our negativity. And on contrary, if we change our thoughts to positive, it will work for our advantage. Absolutely, Ramon. So I'm a big believer in I'm a big believer in living in reality. You know, it's not about trying to find this like really positive meaning that we don't quite really even gel with and put our head in the sand to any negativity. It's actually just about being real. Like, there is more than one perspective in any given moment. And if we can know that we can choose what we want things to mean, and we can choose the things that empower us, not from a place of falseness and sugarcoating, but actually just, if we get to choose, it's like worrying. Like, what purpose does any worrying serve? It doesn't. It just keeps us limited. It, you know, creates a poor experience for us and those around us. And so if we can focus on the things that actually empower us to move forward and create a great emotional experience that we want to live in and for those around us, and that projects us in the direction of a new level of our potential, then that's the meaning that we want to create. And we can end our suffering if we recognize that all suffering is born in the mind and start to question that and find a new perspective. Absolutely, Ramon. I absolutely love you sharing your thoughts here. Thank you so much. And Corey, so much good stuff from you, Vanessa. Thank you for, you're so welcome, Corey. And thank you so much for joining in and watching these videos. I'm so grateful that you're finding them value. So thank you so much for letting me know. And Martine, thank you. And Chris, no, I believe it. I do. We can feel pain without being hurt. Absolutely. I love that you so on the same page there, Chris. It's awesome. And Gary and Shashank and Angel and Anthony and Ismail and Kelly, awesome to have you guys here. And Tumas, hi, wonderful woman. I love it. Sometimes we create our own heartbreaks through expectation. No expectations, no frustrations. Amazing book on expectations, Expectation Hangover, Christine Hassler. Awesome. Yeah, exactly. It's the same sort of concept. Like, the expectation that creates our suffering, is also born in the mind. So everything, we have so much power whenever we are feeling disempowered or, we're suffering in any sort of emotional way. We have to question, what am I thinking and believing right now? What stories am I choosing to believe and create right now that are generating this experience, this emotional experience for me? And what else could this mean? It's all about questioning. Quality questions get you a quality life, like Tony Robbins would say, and it is so true. We have to recognize that. And I so appreciate you too, Miss. Thanks for being here. And Ricardo, loving that you're finding this powerful. And Shashank, not able to understand, then who can hurt us? Please explain. Okay, so I'm not sure when you wrote that question, Shashank, but really what I'm meaning with today's message about no one outside of you can hurt you is that it is in our mind that we create the story. So only when you believe a story about another person can you be hurt. So that's what I mean to say. So when you believe a story about another person, that's what creates the hurt. It's not the actual person who is creating your hurt. It's what you're thinking and believing. It's the story that you're making up in your mind that generates the feeling of hurt. So we need to be able to recognize that none of us want suffering. And if we want to end our suffering, we have to question the thinking that we have going on that's generating the suffering. But so many of us get stuck in a victim mentality, thinking if only that person outside of ourselves would just change or stop doing something or start doing something. And we ultimately can't control that. So we're continuing to generate suffering and our own experience of suffering. So if we want to end our suffering, we have to recognize that only we hurt ourselves by believing what we're thinking, and then we can end it by questioning that thinking and creating a more empowered belief and meaning around whatever's in our external world. Life is not meant to be lived in suffering. And there is always more than one perspective going on. So choose one that empowers you towards a new level of your potential, rather than victimizing yourself and disempowering yourself by thinking something in your external has to change in order for you to end your suffering. Recognize all sufferings in here. I really hope that the way I have been explaining that is resonating with you guys. If you would like me to explain anything deeper, always ask me, and I'll do my very best to try and simplify these kind of ideas and topics so that they are, really you can eat them up and get you thinking. So thank you so much for asking the question, Shashank. I appreciate you, and let me know if that didn't resonate. And I've got Joe and Cadence here, and Aaron, much love to you, and Dennis and Solwyn. Hi V, can you recommend any good books to read? Yes, definitely, Solwyn. The book that I'm really tapping into right now, which is really generating these ideas that I'm sharing with you guys today, is Byron Katie's book, Mind at Home with Itself. Just came out not long ago. Brilliant book. I just mentioned to you guys Christine Hassler's Expectation Hangovers. Brilliant book if you find that you're somebody who suffers from expectations. And I was just reminded again that I need to create this list of amazing books that have changed my life, in the hope that you guys will dive into them as well and get as much value as I have from them. I'll get that out to you guys within the next couple of days. I might even do a Facebook Live on these books to give you sort of a synopsis on what's great about them, how they helped me. If you guys are interested in me doing a Facebook Live on books that have changed my life and why, then definitely let me know in the comments so that I can know that that will be valuable for you, and I will definitely create that. So thank you so much for your question there, Solwyn, and let me know if that would be useful. And Lucy's here, I love it. And Shashank, our soul is our enemy. No, I don't know how to answer that question exactly for you, but I definitely wouldn't say that our soul is our enemy, and depends on your definition of what you're referring to in terms of what your soul is. But like I would say, just on assuming what you're meaning there, I wouldn't say that at all. Lucy, thank you for your kind compliments. I hope you're doing so well. I really want to catch up with you, Lucy, and see how you're going, and hope you're on the up and the improve, absolutely. And Michael's here, and Aaron, love what you were selling, love. Yes, I love it. Thanks, Aaron. I appreciate you. And Chris, if a bird is born in a cage, it won't know it can fly until it exits. Don't let the mind be a cage, let it be an open door. Oh, I love those words, Chris. So awesome, and I couldn't agree more. So beautifully put, so poetic, love it. And Aaron, what do you do for a living? So, okay, so I'm a motivational speaker, a trainer and a coach. That's what I do for a living. So pretty much I feel totally grateful every single day, because I get to learn and grow and develop myself first and foremost, and then simplify my learnings, what's valuable to me and my breakthroughs, so that I can help fast track the success of others to break through to their next level of their potential. So I am super grateful for the work that I do, and hope that answered your question, but that is it. And Hilton, thanks for being here. And Brian, just ordered the book Lovability. Thanks for the recommendation. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that you have ordered that book, Brian. I think I mentioned to you yesterday or the day before that is absolutely my #1 book, one that I've reread a couple of times, and it is just revolutionary, but it's simple, you know, and I think it brings us back to what matters most in life. So I can't wait to hear your thoughts on that, Brian. Please keep in contact and let us all know how you find Lovability by Robert Holden. And Matthew, how do you decide what you want next? Okay, I think that life is all about a constant evolution in terms of discovering the next layer of who we really are and the next layer of what we really want. So I would say that the more clear we get on the progression of who we are and tapping into that new layer, we can get more and more clear on what that is that we want next. And I would say that it has to come from a filter of our authenticity, as opposed to a filter through the external world as to what we perceive society deems as success, or people around us that we want the approval of or the validation from, and that is a great way of deciding where to next. But we don't always know, and sometimes we just need to have a bit of a guess and go with something that feels right. It feels aligned with what we value most and what we know about ourselves this far along our journey, and give it a go. You know, you're not going to really know until you get out there and you take the action in the direction of something that you think feels a bit right. So yeah, get out there, take some action, and decide along the journey what it is that you really want. And don't let anything hold you back, and don't overthink it. Hope that was helpful, Matthew. And Shashank, Vanessa, please answer my question is how negativity leads us to disaster And how can I come out of negativity? Please help on this. Yes, Shashank, the first step is self-awareness. Always. And I think today's message for anybody struggling with negativity and feeling like you're constantly in a state of negativity, this is a powerful message for you to recognize that everything that you think, like your emotional experience of the negativity, is all born in your mind. So you have to start the journey of building awareness around, what am I thinking? What am I believing? What am I making things mean? You know, that is what we should do. So I would ask yourself, you know, next time you're feeling, oh, I'm in this state of negativity, I would ask myself, like, first of all, how am I feeling? What are the emotions that I'm feeling? You've got to build the self-awareness. And then once you identify what those feelings are, what that emotional experience is, then go, well, where did this come from? What am I thinking and believing? What am I making things mean? What triggered me to think this way? You've got to start being able to take a meta perspective on your own mind, and it takes skill, it takes practice, but it is the end of suffering if we can go down this path and start questioning what those thoughts are. If you want access to a brilliant free resource, I would go to thework.com. Byron Katie's fill out a Judge Your Neighbor worksheet. She's got the video trainings there. She's got the free worksheets. It's all free. It's all brilliant. And if you want, a strategy, some steps to do that, that's the quickest, easiest, best place to go. So make sure that you check out thework.com. And thank you so much for your question there, Shashank. And Ramazan, thanks for being here. And Roxana, you're amazing. Thanks for doing this. Oh, you're so welcome, and thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful that you're finding value here. And Frank, I always love seeing you. And Aaron, the essence of the Serenity Prayer, things I can't control versus things I can. The only thing I can control is what is in my mind. Absolutely, Aaron. Couldn't agree more. And Stacey's here. Love it. And Solwyn, thank you. Your words have just hit a nerve. Oh, so grateful to hear that. Thank you so much for being here and being open-minded enough to, you know, think about this message and really utilize it and find the way that it can empower you moving forward. I love hearing that, Solwyn, and thank you so much for sharing. And Shashank, you're so welcome. And Wayne's here, and Rita, and Matthew. So you're saying that self-deception that is provoking conflict, and all we have to do is see the negative thought as a lie, and the truth would be the opposite. Like if your self-talk is disempowering, like you're not good, then the truth would be you are good enough. What do you think? Yeah, absolutely. So like I'm saying, it's not about deceiving yourself into trying to be positive, but what I'm saying is that there is always another perspective. And if we find that we are generating an experience of suffering in any form in our lives, then we want to empower ourselves to find another way that is always available to us. So I would do that, like you're saying, Matthew, so find the other side. You can do the flip or reverse it. And then what I would say, in order to really start to actually believe a different way of thinking, because oftentimes if you have been trapped in negativity, you've been like it's like a car on dirt tracks. You know, they've been going down there time and time again. You know, the car just follows the dirt tracks. And in order to shift and have a more positive mindset or a more empowering mindset, when you've been running these tracks for a long time, it's often difficult, and we have to verge off, and we have to keep trying, right? So your mind will automatically want to go to what it knows and keep you in the story, because it, you know, it's homeostasis. It's like keeping us in certainty. You know, I love what Tony Robbins would say is that the brain isn't made to make you happy. You know, it's not its job to make you happy. That's your job, right? So the brain just wants to keep certainty. And so what I would do is, do the turnaround on what you've been believing or thinking that's creating the conflict or the disempowerment, and do the opposite. And then I would try my hardest to find different examples as to how that new belief is true. So find ways. So for your example that you said, you know, maybe you have that disempowering thought that you're not good enough and you want to transform it to you are good enough. Find examples as to why you are good enough, to prove it to yourself. When in your life have you felt like you are good enough? Where is that happening? So that you can start to really reinforce a more empowering belief that you actually believe. It's not just about, you know, forgetting the negativity and putting all this positivity out. You've got to believe it. And the way that you do that is do the turnaround and then find the examples to prove that new, more empowering thought correct. So I hope that that was valuable for you, Matthew. Absolutely appreciate your question there. And Aaron, can you pause a minute and tell us what you do for a living? Okay, so I think that you asked that question and then I might have answered it already. I'm just scrolling back through, but let me know if I wasn't clear in what I do for a living. Aaron, do a Facebook Live about the books. Awesome, awesome. And Brian, yes, please, Facebook Live. Okay, awesome, guys. I'm going to get that together and I will definitely be doing a Facebook Live for you guys on my absolute favorite books that have revolutionized my life, give you a quick synopsis and how they've helped me personally. And I will love to do that for you. So thanks for letting me know, guys. I absolutely appreciate your feedback. And Isaac and Bobby, and Ricardo, love to hear about the books. Awesome. And Dat, I like your messages. I like that you like my messages. And Aaron, I almost thought I was invisible for a minute. Oh, well, I'm glad you know that you're not. It just takes me a while to get to the end of these comments. But Lucy, feeling life enter back into every cell of my body again. Oh, awesome. Ready to come and hang out with you and fill up with your positive life energy. Beautiful. I love that, Lucy. I can't wait to see you. And I'm so, so grateful to hear that you are on the mend. And that just makes me so, so happy. So I can't wait to connect. And Jacob, hello, what is my mission? Yeah, well, that's a good question. I hope that you're on that journey. And I guess I should let you guys know, I've got some really exciting stuff that's going to really help you in terms of identifying your genius and unleashing your greatness. You guys know I talk about this a lot, but I've got a free training series that I'm creating for you guys that I cannot wait to share with you. And that will definitely help create clarity and direction and purpose in terms of identifying what our mission is. I'm not sure if you're even asking me that question, but you just triggered me to share that with you, Jacob. So thank you so much. And what is the name of the book one more time? Yeah, so the book, I don't know, I just mentioned two. The one that's really triggered this thought for today's Facebook Live is Byron Katie's latest book, A Mind at Home with Itself. And the other book I mentioned, two other books, Christine Hassler's Expectation Hangover, and the other book was Lovability by Robert Holden. So I don't think I mentioned any other books, so I hope one of those were the one you were after. And Paul's here, and Philippe, and Tim, and Rashad. Yes, please, that will help. The books, I want to change my life to help the people in my life community. You're so inspirational person. Oh, thank you so much, Rashad. And I absolutely love that you are, you know, on that journey of growing and developing yourself so that you can contribute to the lives of others. There is nothing more fulfilling in this life than to, you know, grow and develop in the ways that we are most inspired to, and then share those gifts with others and feel like our lives matter by making a meaningful difference and helping to fast track the success of others. I think that is fulfillment. So I hope that each and every one of you is on that journey to discover what your genius is and unleash that so that you can ultimately create true meaning and fulfillment from your own personal growth. So I love that, Rashad, and thank you so much for your kind words. Yeah, so Aaron, is what you believe true? So everything that if you believe something, it is true to you in that moment. And I really believe that there is always another possibility. There is always another perspective, no matter what it is. So your truth is kind of subjective. And so if your truth, what you're believing, is creating suffering, might as well find a better belief that's going to empower you to move forward rather than generate suffering and disempowerment. So I hope that answers your question there, Aaron. And Shemetra and Salman and Dat, your feelings is the start. Make sure you feel good. Absolutely. And Sergio and Wanjo, I can't read your language. I don't know what that is, but thanks for being here. And Sam and yes, Zanab, thework.com is Byron Katie's website. Free content on there, free resources to really shift your mindset, challenge your beliefs, and end your suffering and create true empowerment. And Ricardo, Vanessa, thank you. How do I get to become so powerful like you? I love this topic. I want to become a motivational life coach, the same like what you're doing. I have a passion for this. Where do I start? I live these principles but want to start something like this. Can you advise? Absolutely, Ricardo. I speak to so many of you incredible human beings out there who want so badly to contribute to the lives of others in terms of coaching, and motivational speaking and things like that. So I would love to connect with you, Ricardo, find a little bit more about how you're looking to serve. So book in one of my 15-minute power sessions. I've got the link up above this video. I'd love to meet you, connect with you, and give you some guidance on doing just that, because you are my favorite people to help. Always the kind of people who are not only looking to grow themselves, but they have a burning desire to contribute to the lives of others. That is so fulfilling to me, because it feels like my mission expands, tenfold if I can help somebody who wants to help others. So I can't wait to connect with you, Ricardo. Make sure you book in one of those power sessions. Adrian's here, love it. And Matthew, you're so on point. I'm loving that you're resonating with this. And Judy's here. And Brian, I have read many of Byron Katie's books and have listened to her often. The 4 questions are awesome, but sometimes she speaks so deep that it goes over my head. So I really appreciate when you elaborate on her teachings. Thank you. Oh, you're so welcome, Brian. And yeah, that's been the feedback I get so much. I'm always pushing people towards Byron Katie's work because I find it just so life revolutionary, and really helpful. But yes, I get the same message from practically everybody I push her direction, that it can sometimes just be kind of like so out of our way of thinking that we can kind of miss the message. So I'm really grateful that you find the way that I sort of talk into her teachings as a way into, more into her work. So thank you so much for sharing that with us all there, Brian. And I love that you're across her work. And Abina's here, and Rakshana, Vanessa, please do a Facebook Live on getting rid of emotional baggage. Yeah, well, this is a great start. Any emotional baggage is that suffering. It's based on the stories, the meanings that we create in our minds. So the clearer we can get on what beliefs we've got going on that are creating an emotional experience and generating that emotional baggage, then ultimately this is where it starts. All in the questioning of the mind. But yes, I will make a note to myself to tap into a Facebook Live, which will talk more into emotional baggage for you there. Roxana, thank you so much for your suggestion. So appreciated. And Heidi's here, and Jacob. How can I get closer to my true self? Yes, absolutely. You've got to go on this journey of self-discovery. And like I mentioned before, I'm doing a free training for you guys that I am really excited to share with you to help you on this journey of self-discovery so that you can ultimately get the most phenomenal filter for all decisions and in life, which is your access to your authenticity. If you don't have that, we're kind of at the whim of what we feel is expected of us, and it ultimately leads to, there's no sense of real fulfillment. It's just kind of this stop-start, empty kind of lifestyle. So I hope that you will stay tuned for that, Jacob. I will let you guys know as soon as it's available. And Annabelle from Sweden, it's the first time. Awesome to have you here, Annabelle. I hope you found value in today's message. and Ricardo, you're so welcome, and Giacomo and Nicole and Joe. Awesome to have you guys just join me. I hope that you catch the recording and get a ton of value from today's message. And I really hope for each and every one of you who has stayed tuned and you have been, really keeping an open frame of mind in terms of what we've been talking about today, in terms of all suffering is in the mind, all suffering is optional, as Byron Katie would say. I really hope that it has got you thinking, it's got you into a frame of mind that will help you access a new level of your limitless potential, because it empowers you to take back control and stop expecting something in the external to shift and change in order to end your suffering, which we know now is born in your own mind. Take back control there and stop playing the victim. And Kyle and Emily, thanks for just joining. And Jacob, thanks from Denmark. I love that. And Adrian, you came in late. You'll watch the recording. Awesome. Let me know if you have any questions. That is it from me today, guys. I am sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you too, wherever you are in the world today. And I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. I'm sending you all of my love, and thank you so much for joining me today.